top 5 cheap fragrances for spring for women. I'll probably do another one of these videos for men pretty soon, but this one's the women's version first. So I've compiled a small list of fragrances, all under $100, many of them under $50, for springtime, nice fresh fragrances. And as always, all the fragrances I mentioned will be available in these Amazon associate links down in the description below. I'm going to start with just the most popular option, just because it always works out really well, which is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. This is tried and true, you can't go wrong with it, everybody likes this. It's a very simple but effective green apple, citrus, kind of lemony type of fragrance. So whenever I smell this, I think of the Italian Riviera, like oceanside cliffs and lemon groves and things like that. Very fresh, not cold, but just kind of breezy, it has that ocean-esque smell to it, has a citrus, it's a little bit kind of clean linen type of smell. Again, a very friendly fragrance, agreeable, unintrusive. No one's gonna say anything bad about this fragrance, except actually the longevity. The longevity is really the only bad thing that anyone could say about this fragrance, because the way it smells is great. Longevity, not so much. Longevity is pretty poor, like 4-ish hours, but it's a very affordable fragrance. You can always reapply it throughout the day. I believe this is about $50 to $60, although it does depend on what kind of bottle you get. But this is just a nice, reliable, versatile, all-purpose type of fragrance for women. It always has great reviews whenever you look it up. Again, it's just one of those tried and true options. Plus, it's just, you could wear this anytime, anywhere. It's super versatile. Now, if you want something that's not so mainstream as this, maybe you want just something else, then I would say something maybe a little bit more classic. This is Red Door from Elizabeth Arden. I really like this. Some people are against this because, I don't know, it's from the 90s. I don't know why people would be against this, but I think it's a really nice springtime option. Surprisingly strong for what this is, which is a purely floral, feminine fragrance. There's like 20 or 30 different floral notes in here. Rose and lily and things like that. There's some honey as well. This is definitely like a 7-hour fragrance, like, really good longevity. Plus, it's very affordable. I seem to see these types of bottles for $30, $40, generally very, very affordable. And with the longevity that it provides, that's a great, great deal. Plus, I just think it smells nice. I like the way it smells. Besides the florals that it has a certain powderiness that I think is very attractive, very feminine. It's kind of clean smelling, has a little bit of sweetness from the florals, but it doesn't go overboard. It's not like a sugary sweetness, it's more of a natural sweetness. So definitely a good option if you're not afraid to wear a fragrance that's from the 90s, because I think it's just a classic, very attractive female scent. Plus you get this cool bottle. I always liked how the bottles looked with these, but maybe you are not a fan of Red Door. Maybe you want to wear something different. Then I would say something that's actually kind of similar but has a different twist to it. This is Eternity from Calvin Klein. Now it's similar to Red Door in terms that it has a bunch of florals in it, but this one has kind of a different tone to it. I would say it's not really powdery like Red Door is. It has more of a more natural, like skin-to-skin type of smell, more of an intimate fragrance. I even would say it's very slightly similar, just vaguely similar to Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. It just has some sort of similarity to it. At least I think so. But this is obviously much stronger than that. This is more about the florals. The florals in here are sweeter than the florals in Red Door. Red Door has more of a distant sweetness. This has sweetness that's more upfront. And it's pretty potent, arguably a little bit more potent than Red Door. I believe this is about $50-ish. It's still under 100, but now this doesn't work for everybody. It's a very particular fragrance and how it mixes with one's body chemistry, so you'd have to be kind of wary of that, but if it does, work well for you, then it's going to be really, really nice. And it's one of those fragrances as well that last a long time, surprisingly. Like a 7-hour fragrance sort of thing. So, good deal with this one as well. Now, the last two are pretty classic, but I still think they're pretty good as well. This is Le Mans from Coty, and the other one is actually from Coty as well. This is Emerald. So, these two, they're kind of my minor favorites of my collection. They're considered drugstore fragrances now, but they used to be quite luxurious back when they came out in the 1920s. This is really nice if you want something powdery and light and something very, very similar to Chanel No. 5, but lighter. This is primarily a floral aldehyde fragrance, powdery, feminine, lots of amber and florals, all that. Longevity is kind of average, about 4 hours, maybe 5. You do get this nice, cool bottle, though. It's very easy to reapply. It's $20, so that's one of the cheapest options on this whole list. And just smells surprisingly luxurious. Again, I always say that this smells very, very similar to Chanel No. 5, because it does. This was actually made a few years after Chanel No. 5 was first, invented. So it is very similar because of that. But the other one, Emerald, this is actually a precursor to Shalimar, but this is actually a surprisingly fresher version of it, because Shalimar is a heavy, smoky scent. This is more ambery and floral and citrusy, like a more diluted version of Shalimar, so it's not smoky, really. I like using this one after the shower, or on a kind of warmer spring day. It's basically fresh, but it has some of those warmer notes, like the amber and things like that. And similar to Le Mans, it has kind of average longevity, about 4 hours. But it's also about $20, so another one that's pretty affordable. But that is pretty much my list of cheap fragrances for the spring. For women, and if you enjoyed this video, of course you can like and subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.